Yeah, the F-35 is so stealthy that even the taxpayers can't see where the $1 trillion went. Done. It's done. It's over. Pack it up. Bring everybody back home. Bring the boys back home right now. Bring the boys back home right now. It's over. It's over. American imperialism is over. It's done. Pack it up. Bring the fucking troops home right now. No more warfare. We gave this straight to Iran. Just give it up. Give it up. It's over. It's over. $2 trillion. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way this is real, right? No fucking shot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's real. Oh my God, it's real. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's real. Oh my God. CENTCOM confirmed it. CNN confirmed it. Oh my God. That is crazy, brother. That is our premiere. This is the next gen. This is the next gen. Oh, no. Oh, we are so fucking washed, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, U.S. air supremacy. Oh, my God. The F-35 multi-role fighter jet. Something that costs almost $1 trillion fucking dollars. How is that possible? Sorry, we didn't know it was invisible. Oh my lordy. Donald Trump thinks this fucking plane is invisible too. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so fucking bad. Oh, that's your healthcare. That's literally your healthcare. That is your healthcare that just perished, okay? We could have had high-speed rail, a network of high-speed rail on in this country. We could have had, oh my God, we have the fuck-ass jet F-35 multi-role fighter jet instead of healthcare in this goddamn country, instead of fucking schools, instead of high-speed rail. Oh, my lordy. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. Oh, my Lord, that is wild. Wait, someone make this with QRT it with this? No, someone make it with, okay, I'm going to fight IRGC. Damn, IRGC got hands. Or Iran. By 2017, the program was expected over his lifetime until 2070 to cost $406 billion for acquisition of the jets and $1.1 trillion for the operations and maintenance. Stop playing with me, dude. Inside Wire said it's fake. I mean, if CNN says it's real, CENTCOM says it's real, who the fuck gives a shit about what Inside Wire is saying, you know? Oh my Lord, dude. Sources tell me the F-35 is stable. Please, God. Bro said, here you go, and then sent this cropped ass image. Bro, this is ass. This is ass. Yeah, let me tune into Benjamin Shapiro. I want to hear what he has to say about whether or not this F-35 was shot. I don't see why any jet is incapable of being shot at. Brother, I need you to understand something, okay? The F-35 multi-role fighter jet is supposed to be the last generation fighter jet that the United States currently has at its disposal. It is one of the most costly endeavors we have engaged in, totaling more than $1 trillion fucking dollars. If they are capable of being taken out by, relative, like conventional loitering munitions or surface-to-air missiles, that directly contradicts the air superiority argument that the American government can utilize. That also is a major blow to the confidence that we could have. This is not like some old tech that we're working with where, our foreign adversaries have had years and years and years of combat experience to basically design a way to successfully counteract. It's unbelievably bad. It is unbelievably bad if the F-35 is actually taken out by Iranian anti-air missiles. Do you understand? It shows two things. Number one, they still have denial capabilities. Okay, Iran still has denial capabilities, and they're very successfully utilizing it. Number two, it also shows us that the American air superiority is busted and dusted. It's unfucking believable. Given that the U.S. now has effectively run out of standoff munitions, they finally ordered an F-35 sortie into Iranian space. This stealth aircraft was detected, targeted, and struck, and was lucky to make it back to base in one piece. Oh my fucking Lord. Dude, this is worse than the motherfucking... Bro. This is literally worse than the gas field shit, okay? For all the missile autists, for all the plane autists, this was something that I could not believe when the New York Times initially reported that a F-35 was dinged by the Ansar Allah, the Ansar Allah loitering like anti-air defenses. I thought there's no shot. How the fuck would the Ansar Allah movement have a capability to hit the F-35? It turns out they did. It turns out this is real. Yeah, F-35, turd. F-35 is right. The OSINT tech nerds are saying that Iran is a totally new type of radar that our stealth fighters don't even register. If you look, that F-35 didn't even evade. They had no idea it was coming. I don't understand it. If this is real, it is a fucking devastating blow. Dude, you know what this reminds me of? It's like people thinking that, you know, we have the best cavalry units, okay? And then they encounter an explosive ordnance for the first time, okay? Like this literally feels like America running around being like, excuse me, we have the greatest cavalry units. We've destroyed their cavalry. They don't even have horseback mounted units any longer. How could they ever do warfare? And then they just come out with a fucking cannon and they're like, what the fuck is this? A cannon? Whatever this thing is. Seems kind of stupid to unfold this on the battlefield, and then boom, out of nowhere, you're like, what the fuck? Do you understand? Like this, if this is a mass producible, repeatable incident, this literally renders the F-35 like tanks, basically. If Ukraine and Russia showed that tanks were unreliable in drone combat, this is yet another instance where it's done. Like, there's no, like, why the fuck would you use this? Why do I not find this shocking at all? I mean, am I crazy? Did I just like lean into the crazy coverage on the fucking F-35s that I just assumed that it wouldn't be like this $1 trillion operation would not be taken out by fucking Iranian missiles this easily? Is this China tech or Iran tech? I don't. Oh my God, dude, I cannot. It's unbelievable. It is fucking unbelievable. You don't believe in Chinese tech? No, I do believe in Chinese tech. I don't know if this is a Chinese missile or a Chinese surveillance system. I don't know if it's any of that. Okay, we don't know. I don't know. I'm not a missile autist. I don't know what the Iranian capabilities are. I have a lot of. I've been steadily impressed every single day with like not only the Iranian resilience so far, but also their engineering and their ingenuity in general. They have, you know, it's a nation of fucking nerds. Okay, this is what happens when you got a nation of chud ass nerds. Their highest ranking officials are chud ass nerds when it comes to fucking, merging Western philosophy and Eastern Islamic principles. They got like 18 PhDs. All that's what their leadership looks like. And their entire fucking government structure is designed by engineers. It's the most engineering country of all time. So maybe they have their own version. I don't know if it's the Chinese one, but it's yeah, this is crazy. I gotta text Felix. Holy fuck, dude. That is crazy, brother. What the hell? I gotta fucking call Marat. Let's not get away with it too much. Russia and China are helping Iran, buddy. Okay, dude. Listen, that could be the case here, but like the idea, dude, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's $1 trillion. It's $1 trillion. $1 trillion. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm losing my fucking mind. I can't. Yeah, the F-35 is so stealthy that even the taxpayers can't see where the $1 trillion went. Done. It's done. It's over. Pack it up. Bring everybody back home. Bring the boys back home right now. Bring the boys back home right now. It's over. It's over. American imperialism is over. It's done. Pack it up. Bring the fucking troops home right now. No more warfare. We gave this straight to Iran. Just give it up. Give it up. It's over. It's over. $2 trillion. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Wrap it up. Wrap it up. We could have built millions of miles. We could have done a robust high-speed rail network with that money. We could have literally fixed our entire infrastructure. We could have designed socialized medicine in this fucking country. I can't believe it. This is unbelievable. Oh. Will Amerivassal still buy the plane? Who gives a shit? Let him buy it, okay? Dude, I'm sorry. The Axis is cooking our assholes right now. Is done. Is done. It's time to become England. It's time to become England. This is the moment, okay? It's time to become England. You know how they closed up piece by piece every single fucking colony? It's time right now. If you cut away from the losses right now, you can still salvage the situation. We can still salvage the situation. Cut away from the losses presently, okay? Make haste. Cut away and just become England. And then you can just, we can be England. It's fine. England is fine. I mean, they're suffering right now because we're cooking their asses, but it's over. It's done. It's done. American Empire is done. It's done. Write it out. What? The whole F-35 program was $2 trillion? Yeah, I think every F-35 is $1 trillion? Are you fucking insane? No, I'm saying that the functionality of the F-35, which is a true $2 trillion project, is literally evaporating in real life in front of your eyes. If the latest generation American multi-role fighter jet can be taken out with Iranian munitions like this, it sucks. It's useless. The F-35 got obviously hit by some optical targeting system like the Iranian Object 359, some very cheap but clever system. The F-35 didn't even use its flare, so it wasn't some manpad. That's what I'm saying, bro. They didn't even know it was coming. Are you fucking kidding me? $2 trillion? $100 million per plane right now. That's $2 trillion of the overall fucking cost of the program. down the goddamn toilet. I'm like I said, I'm not a plane autist, right? I'm not a plane autist at all. But from what I understand, like when you roll out your new gear, it's supposed to have a little bit of dominance until the adversaries can figure out unique ways of retooling their defense systems so they can like maybe get a ding off, maybe take some pot shots, right? Like it should not be. This should not happen. That's all I'm saying. Like you're talking about, adversary detection systems, adversary striking capabilities that need to be advanced in the field of battle. They start, reconfiguring how they're going to do targeting without being targeted themselves, right? Like all of this shit. This was a ding no. No, that's what I'm saying. You can't be getting dinged out. You can't be getting shot at. The F-35 isn't new anymore, man. It's almost 20 years old. The F-47 is the new one that hasn't been shown off yet. If it's anything like the F-35 program, it's cooked. Is this my industry? Contract bloat is real. I mean, I know this industry. I am very familiar with this industry. Okay? There's a reason why everyone is covering this story, by the way, because this is a profound development. It's also F-47 is meant to replace the F-22, not the F-35. I mean, this is insane. What you're saying is true, but without real combat to test these things out, people developing the weapons can make wrong assumptions. Same thing happened with naval warfare during the First World War. Okay, but this is a spectacular failure, especially because America has been at war non-fucking stop. Non-fucking stop. Bro, you don't know our real multi-role supremacy. She goes to another school. Holy fuck, dude. God damn, please just pack it up. Please pack it up. Please pack it up. 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 Just pack it up. We got to pack it up ASAP, bro. We got to pack it up ASAP. It's done. It's over. It's done. It's over. The important thing here is not whether an F-35 was shot down. It was the fact that Iran's air defense was able to detect, track, and lock onto and shoot and damage an F-35 without the F-35 even knowing that it was actually locked onto. Like, look at this. Breaking. IRGC claims F-35 hit over central Iran. Footage unverified. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said its air defense struck a U.S. F-35 fighter jet around 2:50 a.m. over central Iran, claiming the aircraft was seriously damaged and likely crashed, though its fate remains unclear. So I need you to understand something. This means, one, Iran still got hands, which we knew already, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, they very clearly still have anti-air defense systems in play. What happened to the air superiority argument? America was like, oh, dude, it's over. We already have full-blown air superiority. What did I tell you? I told you that they have weapons that they fucking roll out randomly. They don't have stable, fixed position anti-aircraft munitions because they would get lasered like on day 2. So they periodically roll out their fucking anti-aircraft weapons, okay? I told you that. And these guys kept repeating this nonsense that America had established air superiority. And clearly they believed their own fucking nonsense because otherwise they wouldn't have rolled out the F-35. So that's number one. So their defenses have not been obliterated, clearly, okay? Number two, this puts a direct blow in the American force projection capabilities. If your last gen fighter jets, if your last gen multi-role fighter jets that cost $2 trillion with the R&D and with all the fucking procurement are getting dinged without even noticing that they're getting dinged by Iranian missiles is over. Is over. Bro, like anyone after today that comes at me and tries to say, well, bro, we would fucking destroy China, can suck my cock from the entire back, okay? You can start sucking from my asshole before you get to my penis. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? Look at this. Yani Erdoğan haklı mı çıktı? No, Erdoğan hala istiyor. Erdoğan hala istiyor. Look at this. That's crazy. The IRGC said the incident follows the interception of more than 125 American Zionist drones, pointing to what it described as improved air defense capabilities. The claimant footage remains unverified, except there's an update. U.S. F-35 fighter jet damaged by suspected Iranian fire makes an emergency landing at a U.S. airbase in the Middle East, sources say. Bro, we have daisy-chained stratotanker after stratotanker after stratotanker because we don't have any fucking bases in the region that aren't in arm's length distance from Iranian drone strikes and Iranian cluster munitions. So we literally have designed this complex daisy chain of stratotankers that are refueling these planes because they have to start their flight from all the way out there, as far as they possibly can get. And then they make their motherfucking way to the Iranian airspace and they get clapped? Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry, we didn't know it was invisible. Greetings from Serbia. Serbia was able to down F-117 Nighthawks when no one knew what stealth really was, all with the knowledge of the designated flight travel. Yeah, that's the sorry we didn't know it was invisible line. That's where it's from. IRGC statement on the anti-aircraft system that hit the F-35. Iran's Katamallanbia central headquarters says the proud, knowledgeable, and valiant youth of the aerospace force of the IRGC after the imposed 12-day war succeeded in developing new air defense. No shot. No, they did not design. There's no way that they were like, get the autists together. We have to find a new air defense system. Write it off. Since the 12-day war, they did not design a new anti-air defense system since the last 12-day war. This has to be Chinese tech. Okay, I take it back. I was skeptical that it was Chinese air defense, but now I think it must be Chinese because yeah, you can't just fucking design an anti-air defense system in like a matter of months. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, they were like rushing the Tylenol babies right now. We got to get all of our maximum autists on the job. Says you? No, that doesn't make any sense, chatter. You're out of your fucking mind. You can't just like develop a new indigenous missile system inside of Iran with all the fucking sanctions in a matter of like a couple months. Okay? That's not how this works. Anyway, the proud, the knowledgeable, the valiant youth of the aerospace force of the IRGC after the imposed 12-day war succeeded in developing new air defense equipment and systems and deploying them in the country's integrated air defense system, striking the legendary power and invincibility of the ultra-advanced fifth-generation American F-35 aircraft, breaking its aura for the first time in the world and discrediting it. If 60% of all STEM graduates in Iran are women, then they got the scariest type of autism there. Girl autism. Yes, bro. Yes. Iran is developing new tech at anime speeds not seen on this earth before. I mean, look, people love an underdog story. I wonder if this is how they felt when they were watching America just like punish Vietnam for no fucking reason. And we were just sitting there being like, why are we doing this? We shouldn't do this. it's got to be like a similar experience, right? Where it's like nobody wants this except for like maybe a couple people that really want this, and they want it because they want it at the behest of a foreign nation. And we just kind of have to sit here and be like, oh, another day, I guess. F-22 cortisol spike. That missile was fucking moving too, goddamn. Yeah. Is Iran actually Wakanda? Yeah, it's Wakanda for the autism. It's autism. It's autism Wakanda. Also, China is kind of like that too. Let's be real. Remember, another country with fucking STEM lords out the wazoo, out the ass. Watch them blame the pilot. They're gonna be like, it's a woman pilot. Yeah, this is a tremendous failure for American ingenuity. This is unbelievable. I mean, it's totally unfucking believable. I need to see the cope on this shit. I need to see the cope on this right now. What happened to all the fucking pro-NATO Os and Andes that were like, excuse me, who's to say we have not accomplished our military objectives? We've decapitated their leadership and we double tapped a school. That's a success. Iran gonna find out why we don't have health care. It's like, bitch, you don't have health care. You are the one who doesn't have health care. You're asking the wrong questions. You're making the wrong statements. You should be saying, we should have health care instead of this. You don't even have the force projection confidence booster any longer. How do you sit here and watch $2 trillion light on fucking fire? What has NATO have to do with it? This is a U.S. operation. NATO is U.S. and I'm referencing like the pro-NATO, pro-U.S. Andes. Can someone link me to tweet Hassan had up with a poster that said the F-35 was invisible or something? I couldn't get it. Yeah. Also, it's wonderful that Donald Trump, again, JD Pondon, the bullet pierced my ear, but I still hear the voice of the party. JD Pondon comes out. Share of respondents who say it's either better to depend on China or on the U.S. under Donald Trump. Canada, 57% say it's better to trust China. Germany, 40% say it's better to trust China. France, 34% say it's better to trust China. The UK, 42% say it's better to trust China. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I never thought I would see the day. I never thought I would see the day where the Euroids are waking up to the reality that they have been vassalized. What is happening? This is why I said these are the weeks where decades happen. That's why I said it. America's century of humiliation is upon us. It is now time to redesign everything, okay? We got to pick this society apart piece by piece to rebuild it. It's over. The faster we pivot away from our endless militarism, the better it will be for American society, for ordinary Americans. Please, I know no one will listen to me except for the motherfuckers in here, but god damn, dude, please. Oh, for years and years, I have spent countless hours explaining that American militarism and American imperialism is not good for the European allies that have been vassalized. American imperialism is not good for the ordinary Americans that don't benefit from the imperial bounty. For years, I have explained that we are spread far too thin, but I never thought that it would take a matter of like weeks for America to come short. All it took was for a country to say, all right, fuck this. I'm not playing ball any longer. And even that country was actively trying to negotiate over and over and over and over again. Even that country kept saying, Iran kept saying, please, let's negotiate. Please, please, let's negotiate. And our fucking fat cats thought that restraint was not because of their naivete, but that restraint was because they were terrified. That's what we thought. American hubris. We thought their restraint and their interest in negotiating with us was born out of a real fear. A real fear of American military superiority. We have the most sophisticated weapons. We have the best weapons. You said this like 5 weeks ago too. I remember thinking, inshallah, one day. I did. I've been saying this for years. Having said that, however, I did not think it would be this much. I did not think it would be this fast and this embarrassing. Even with the 12-day war, I thought, okay, there will be a lot of pummeling. They'll blow the fuck out of, they'll blow up the positions. They'll close up the tunnels. Iran won't have the striking capabilities. It turns out American capitalism was also our biggest security weakness, our biggest flaw, because of the complex international design of global capital. You can just hit the heart of capital centers. You can hit profit centers from Iranian TELs. You can hit American profit centers by shutting off the fucking Strait of Hormuz, for example. And then when you do that, the entire system falls apart. It's a very weak system for that reason. An incredibly important lesson to learn here, for the record. From the last frames of the F-35 being hit by Iranian air defense, it looks like some type of shrapnel got in the air intake and damaged the engine, but the airframe looked largely intact. The important thing here is not whether F-35 was shot down. It was the fact that Iran's air defenses were able to detect, track, lock onto, and shoot and damage the F-35. This alone is a form of deterrence, forcing the U.S. to continue using expensive standoff munitions with their non-stealth aircraft and avoid using F-35 with impunity. I know where it landed. There's only 2 bases. I live here. It was flying over me. Really mad. Oh my Lord. Oh, Lordy. And this is not like Russia. This is not like Russia at all. This comes after 2.5 years of Israel doing genocide, unlimited genocide in Gaza with American defenses, with American help, with American aid, with American weapons, right? This also is like, this also wasn't like, Russia invading Ukraine, right? This is America and Israel, 2 partners that have shown that they're unreliable already and expended all the goodwill that they may have had with their European partners, striking a sovereign nation state. So right now is open season for Iran. They have every right to defend themselves. So every single thing that they do, every single military goal that they achieve, every single profit center that's hit is not being, the blame and the responsibility is not being put on Iran. It's being put on America and Israel. Even in places like the United States of America, instead of people feeling hardened and instead of people feeling emboldened, people feeling a sense of pride and getting angry at the enemy, right? They realized that we did this. We did this. It is an underdog story in some ways. We should have never done any of this. Okay? That much is clear, I hope. My Lord, here, let's watch the impact a little bit. National gas prices.
Almost immediately in the prices people pay here at the pump. Overnight prices rising another 5 cents. The nationwide average now $3.90 a gallon. Since this war began, prices have jumped 96 cents, and they are now at their highest levels since 2022. That's when they hit $5 a gallon. Meantime, diesel prices, that is the lifeblood of the American economy. It fuels shipping, using trains, semi-trucks, hauling products, and of course, farmers use this fuel as well. It is now $5.05 a gallon. The past 2 weeks have brought the biggest two-week price increase in diesel on record, and it all comes down to oil, which is now $95 a barrel, in that range. Every $1 move in oil prices translates to about a 2 to 3 cent move higher at the pump. If sustained, this would mean that households are adding about $1,000 or more to their costs over the course of a year. And if you think about this, this is part of everything. Heating costs, the cost of an Uber, the cost of food, it ripples through the entire economy, Robin.
Many people are thinking about that. You're right, Rebecca. Thank you.
Day 20 of this war, Israel and the US have continued to hit targets in Iran. But there is a new type of target, a new category over here. We're going to talk about it. Israel targeting Iranian energy infrastructure and Iran hitting back.
I didn't even realize how perfect my fucking new merch is for this moment. Look. Yeah, I didn't even realize that I'm literally wearing my new merch that's coming out, and it's a perfectly illustrative of the moment that is happening currently. That I designed this literally fucking like 3 months ago, okay, or even longer than that. Is crazy. Pre-watch Piker, precog Piker, baby. Did you start World War III just to sell merch? Yeah. Piker Broadcasting Service for tomorrow's merch today. Piker Broadcasting Service for tomorrow's news today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, here at the Piker Broadcasting Service, you know, it's not always going to be fun. Okay, but Union Made American Made merchandise, ideology.shop. Please, your voluntary contributions in the form of a Twitch Prime. So you got stakes in this too? Yeah, I'm fucking, call me Josh Gottheimer the way I traded on insider information.
Is an escalation, a big one that deepens both the war itself and the problems for the global economy. Let's zoom in a bit to understand this more, because it's really important. The waters between Iran and Qatar actually in between.
Erica Kirk ass merchant. Yeah, that's me, baby.
Between them is the world's largest natural gas field. And the two countries, well, they divvy it up pretty much. Iran calls it the South Pars. Qatar calls it North Dome. Now, Israel struck targets related to it in Iran. Whether or not it had the approval of the US is now a matter of contention. This shows the video of the aftermath of a strike in Asalea. Iran struck back straight away, hitting the Ras Laffan complex. Qatar said there was extensive damage, taking out 17% of Qatar's natural gas export capacity. Repairs are expected to take 3 to 5 years. That has led to the price of gas to shoot up. So that means a country like us here in the UK, where gas is a crucial part of our energy mix, we're going to see higher energy prices. But Iran also threatened to strike other energy infrastructure facilities across the region, including Saudi Arabia's Sam Ref refinery. That is over here, and that's really important. You'll notice we've shifted over on the map away from the Strait of Hormuz, which we will talk about. A lot of people say, well, maybe...
Is Qatar exaggerating the damage to satisfy Iran? I don't think so. I think they actually are cooking the fucking gas fields.
Maybe this is a way to bypass the Strait of Hormuz, the issues there. But if this is a target now, well, that plan doesn't work anymore. And there are also targets much closer to the Strait. In Saudi Arabia, on this side of it, up here. In Qatar, we've talked about it. Also the UAE, another gas field down there. So we've been talking about gas in Qatar.
The other side of this is that Americans spent hours on hours at Davos, at all these different international summits, yelling at the European allies for desperately trying to get on the renewable energy grid, desperately trying to electrify their grid, right? If you recall, Howard Butlick went on stage and was like, why the fuck would you move into the realm of renewable energy when China controls that? Wouldn't you want reliable, energy that we're providing you? Fossil fuels, right? You guys got to stop trying to electrify your grid. You guys got to stop moving in the direction of renewable energy. Well, after today's incident, not even today's incident, but like the last couple of months have shown, turns out in order to have energy independence, you have to move into the realm of renewables. Because what was previously foreseen as reliable energy, okay, reliable energy is no longer seen as reliable energy no longer, right? Look at Cuba. The fact that they have any energy whatsoever right now after 3 months of not having any oil come onto the island is because 30% of their entire energy grid is now solar panels due to Chinese solar panels that have been sent, that have been shipped off. That's it. Is solar panel time. This is something that people have been pushing for many, many years. In order to stave off some of the worst elements of anthropogenic climate change, people have been actively advocating for it. But also, there is an independence, an energy independence angle here too. 70% of LNG production is insane. Qatar Energy said this is $20 billion in annual revenue loss. If oil fields keep getting hit, it seems the GCC countries may not pivot their primary frustration to Iran, or may pivot their primary frustration to Iran. At least that's what the Qataris and Saudis are suggesting. Yes. Yeah. Qatar Energy just announced that they may have to declare force majeure on long-term contracts for up to 5 years, dude. We have escalated into worst-case scenario territory overnight, and it literally happened because Israel struck the gas fields. Just remember, Israel struck the gas fields. Iran and Qatar share that gas field. Force majeure means forced closure is done. They're packing it up. Like, they're packing up the contracts. They just don't have the capability. That is an unbelievable energy crisis. That's precisely the reason why, by the way, Donald Trump came out. That's precisely the reason why Donald Trump came out last night and said this dumbass Truth Social post that I replied to. I said, everybody panic now. He came out and said, where is it? Where is it? Hold on. Statement from President Trump on the South Pars gas field. Israel, out of anger for what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at a major facility known as South Pars gas field in Iran. I mean, I just didn't think that the end of the world would be so funny at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, this man is a wordsmith, brother. What do you mean? Out of anger for what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at a major facility known as the South Pars gas field in Iran. Like... Like, this is, Israel just got real mad. Who knows why? And then they just lashed out at a facility. It's so funny to describe Israel escalating. Okay, Israel escalating its unlimited bombing campaign to new targets that are predictably going to cause energy collapse in the world. And it's just the way he tries to describe it. The way he tries to describe it is like the New York Times trying to write about an incident where Israel like blew up a school with orphans or something. You know what I mean? You know how like the New York Times loves never putting the blame directly on Israel when Israel has blown up yet another, orphanage or whatever. That's Donald Trump's own version of like passive voice, but he's obviously incapable of writing in passive voice because he's not the New York Times editor, right? Like the New York Times editor has spent decades upon decades correcting and perfecting its passive voice when it comes time to like writing about police involved shooting incidents, right? As though bullets materialize out of thin air, and the same thing for Israel, right? So when Donald Trump tries to do that, it just comes across very funny. Like it's hilarious to watch a genuinely stupid man get together with his team of also genuinely stupid people to be like, how do we make this work? You know, I can't blame Israel too hard, but you know, it's just they've lashed out violently at a facility because of all the stuff that's going on in the Middle East. Who started it, man? And then the rest is even funnier. A relatively small section of the whole has been hit. The United States knew nothing about this particular attack. No, definitely, man. Yeah, Israel blew up the gas fields, and the American government knew nothing of it. Okay? Knew nothing about this particular attack, and the country of Qatar was in no way, shape, or form involved with it, nor did it have any idea that it was gonna happen. Unfortunately, Iran did not know this. Unfortunately, Iran didn't know this. Iran mistook the Israeli-American bombing campaign on the gas fields as the Israeli-American bombing campaign on the gas fields and retaliated. Unfortunately, Iran didn't know this either. Everyone is uninvolved. This is a totally random happenstance. Totally random. Israel just violently lashed out, and then Iran didn't know who was responsible, so they also lashed back at the oil fields. It's clearly not true, and it looks really bad for his admin if it is true. Just the worst statement ever. No, it's one of those incidents where, like, you know how I used to always say I feel kind of bad for like Israel defenders because it's like impossible to defend Israel. This is that moment, right? I mean, I don't actually feel bad for Zionists who, you know, get paid to defend Israel, but do you see what I mean? It's like impossible to defend Israel. So if your job is to do PR for the apartheid, the genocidal apartheid state, the Zionist entity, you're going to have a hard time. You're always going to look like a fucking idiot. And the best case scenario for this PR is going to make you look like a buffoon. Obviously, the truth is America did know that Israel was going to do this and said yes because they're fucking morons. But it's awesome. It's awesome that Donald Trump tried to throw Israel under the bus here, but did so in the worst way possible. Anyway, unjustifiable. So yeah, Iran didn't know this, and any of the pertinent facts pertaining to the South. You can see, you can feel how sweaty his thumbs were when typing this out, by the way. Or any pertinent facts pertaining to the South Pars attack and unjustifiably and unfairly attacked a portion of Qatar's LNG gas facility. No more attacks will be made by Israel pertaining to this extremely important and valuable South Pars field unless Iran unwisely decides to attack a very innocent, in this case, Qatar. Very innocent, in this case, Qatar, in which instance the United States of America, with or without the help or consent of Israel, will massively blow up the entirety of the South Pars gas field at an amount of strength and power that Iran has never seen or witnessed before. Now, understand something. This part doesn't match up with this threat. Because guess what? You are writing, many people are saying, the most anxiously typed Truth Social post imaginable because Iran got struck and then retaliated. So if your threat, okay, if your threat in this instance is we'll blow it up even harder, well, then they have nothing to lose, don't you think? Because this is how escalation works. You escalate and then they escalate, okay? So if you're shitting your fucking pants because Israel, without your knowledge, struck first on the Iranian gas fields, and then Iran retaliated, and it caused you to panic so hard that you wrote this entire thing, this threat doesn't make any sense. You can't just be like, Israel really fucked up by striking this gas field, and then Iran didn't know any better, so they struck back. But if Iran does it again, we'll blow it up even harder. It doesn't make sense. Then, okay, you blow up the gas fields, Iran will literally nuke the entire energy production in the region. Like, this logically doesn't make sense. Okay? Also, it's pretty funny where he's like, without the consent of Israel. What do you mean? Why the fuck do we care about the consent of Israel? You goddamn dog. You're the American president. Act like it. Anyway, will massively blow up the entirety of the South Park gas field in an amount of strength and power Iran has never seen before. He's like a child. I do not want to authorize this level of violence and destruction because of the long-term implications that it will have on the future of Iran. But if Qatar LNG is attacked again, I will not hesitate to do so. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. Military genius, dude. Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if infrastructure like this gets blown up as of this moment, it will take at least a decade to recover from this war. And the truth is that the world's energy picture has probably changed forever, which is true. This single facility produced roughly 20% of global LNG supply. And as of 2011, had taken $70 billion to build. It took 14 years to build this fucking facility, apparently. 14 years. One of the most sophisticated gas facilities on the planet. What makes this even worse is that Iran's strike on this was retaliation after Israel attacked the South Pars gas field, which draws from the same natural gas reservoir, which is the world's largest by far. That's what's so crazy about this. So if Iran didn't even retaliate, that still actually harms the Qatari interests. So they're getting double fucked in this circumstance. Qatar is getting fucked twice. First, when Israel strikes the same gas field, okay, just on the other side of not the coastline, but like it's basically pieced up half and half almost between Qatar and Iran, right? So Qatar is getting it from both ends, first by Israel, then by Iran. Heck, on the list of the 25 largest natural gas fields, this single reservoir holds roughly 40% of their combined recoverable reserves and is nearly 6 times bigger than the second biggest field in the world. And unlike many of the others on the list, it's only at 10% depletion, meaning 90% of the gas is still there. Which means that probably for many years, a huge share of the gas from the world's largest reservoir simply won't be extractable. As infrastructure on both sides, Qatar's and Iran's, has now been blown up. From a global energy supply perspective, we're deep in the worst case scenario territory. I voted for this. I voted to perish the world's largest natural gas reserves. Yeah, also, that was really funny because Trump literally threatens in that Truth Social post to blow up Qatar's gas field to defend Qatar's gas field. Like, none of this makes sense. It's so obviously just a panic tweet late in the night. Incredible, dude. Actually incredible. Where are the nothing ever happens guys? Where are they? I need to hear from them. Satan Yahoo live and addressing everything.
And I think in the final account, as I said, it's up to the Iranian people to show that.
Fucking idiot, moment, dude. Yeah, get fucked.
We can create the conditions, but they have to.
He's still like, come on, Iranians, do something. Why won't you do a revolution now, please? Please, come on, we fucked up.
You can't do it only for
Also, I love addressing the Iranians in Iran in fucking English. I love addressing the beautiful Iranian people in Iran that are going to rise up in fucking English. Know who this audience, you're the audience for this. Okay, well, not you, but like Trump is the audience for this. This is the audience for this is not the Iranian people, okay, who I don't think have had access to internet for the last 19 days regardless.
For a transitional government, a democratic transitional government, or a moderate transitional government. I hope that it comes to being. I think it's too early to say.
Next question from Richard Engel from NBC News.
Good to see you again.
Wait, why are they muting the Richard Engels question? You think someone fucking punched him in the mouth and that's why his lip looks busted? You think he's dead? He's alive? Yeah, guys. Oh my God.
Well, I
yes,
think we
he's
have
alive.
concrete goals, how to do it, how to end it. We want to, as I said, decimate the ballistic missile program, which we're doing. Decimate the
well, Netanyahu speaks about Iran not having missiles. Iran has fired a few towards the north.
I think that those are goals that are achievable, but I'm not going to put a schedule or a stopwatch on it. I think we have goals.
I think they mute the questions because they are worried that someone might ask a pretty bad one.
This canard,
something like that.
That we drag the United States into it is not just a canard. It's ridiculous.
A canard. He's saying tropes. He's saying, oh, guys, the thing that I came out and sweatily revealed on the first day of us striking Iran. Yeah, that's a canard. That's an anti-Semitic canard.
In not acting. What do you think would have happened if America did not act now? Just imagine what would have happened. In a few months' time, no more than a year.
What would have happened? None of the awfulness that has taken place so far, actually. It would have been awesome. Things would have been so much better. The world would not be collapsing. The global energy markets would not be sweating bullets right now. You know, just a lot of shit that would not have taken place, actually. Do you think any of the things that are going on are good? Do you like what's happening even in Israel?
Missiles that can hit Chicago and New York and Florida and Texas and California. Oh, but they don't have it yet. That's what people said. Right, let's wait. Well, just let them do it.
I mean, he's a demonic guy, but I've also never really seen him this frazzled either. Like, he also seems shook. He's fucking crashing out.
To prevent them from doing it and to just decimate these industries and perhaps achieve this transitional government in Iran. So you'd sit back and you say, well, it's not going to happen in the next Thursday, so let's not act. I tell you that there's enormous risk in not acting. Much greater risk than acting. And if you think that the oil markets are in trouble today, think of Iran with nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them. Then think of the blackmail that you would endure.
I didn't exactly ask, however.
Okay, we're going to go to the next question.
No, I think it's only fair that this is a serious subject.
What is the question?
One question for,
Yeah, go ahead.
for
Go ahead.
You don't have a lot of time.
That's,
Why don't this is the war?
go ahead, ask.
Of course, but you have colleagues that want to ask questions.
Go ahead, ask.
Gas prices are going up. The war is popular here in Israel. Is not popular with many Americans.
Dude is on a like the most evil human being since Hitler. I mean, there's a lot of Hitlers. Like, I think Trump is also one of those guys, right? Like, it's not just
Well, we
Benjamin
have
Netanyahu.
achievable goals, and I'm not going to speak
Like, Big
about
Yahoo
the-
is not the only Hitlerite out, okay? Make no mistake. I would say that America has its own legion of Hitlers as well, okay? Big Yahoo is just like one of the more visible and one of the more annoying ones.
I think, and Americans understand this very well because we're real partners. I think that what has to be done is to have alternative routes.
I don't know why I love calling him Big Yahoo.
The choke points of the Hormuz Straits and the Bab el-Mandeb Straits, in order to have the flow of oil, just have oil pipelines, gas pipelines, going west through the Arabian Peninsula, right up to Israel, right up to our Mediterranean ports, and you've just done away with the choke points for forever. That is definitely possible. So I see that as a real change that will follow this war. But I also see this war ending a lot faster than people think.
First of all, I just want to say I'm alive and you're all witnesses.
In war, you have to grit your teeth. Churchill said,
"Oh, brother, Churchill
democracies
said,
suffer from the slumber of democracies," as he called it. And they only wake up, he said, they may wake up only when they hear the gong, the jarring gong of danger, is the way he put it. Well, you're hearing the jarring gong of danger. The jarring gong of danger is Iran gets nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles.
I think the entire world knows that Iran is a more stable actor than Israel. Iran doesn't have nukes, but should get nukes. That's my assessment for the record, so that the world is more stable. And Israel is infinitely more dangerous with the nukes that it currently has.
Danger in time. But leaders are tasked with the task of seeing danger in time and acting on it. And I hope that in time, people will see the wisdom and the courage of President Trump's decision and his leadership, and the fact that we're working together. America is not fighting
Yo,
for
the
Israel.
Netanyahu body double
America
doing
is
too
fighting
much?
with
Yeah,
Israel
Big
for a
Yahoo's
common
body
goal,
double's acting out.
to protect our future, to protect civilization against these barbarians.
Next question. One question. Guy Azriel from I-24 News.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Guy Azriel, I-24 News. President Trump said today he did not like the Israeli strike on the Iranian gas fields. My question to you, was the president aware of Israel striking that gas field? Did you approve it? And please, if you may, do you see any signs that the Iranian regime is collapsing? And what assurances do you give the Israeli public that if it does stand on its feet, we will not see another wave of a war with Iran in maybe 5 or 10 years?
Well, I'll say two things. Fact number one, Israel acted alone against the Slawiya gas compound. Fact number two, President Trump asked us to hold off on future attacks, and we're holding out. What do we see? What happens if are there any signs that the...
First, Unit 8200 Barak Ravid literally said Israel and America did this joint strike together, by the way. So,
But will I tell you,
too
will I
late
commit
now.
right now that it's going to collapse. I can tell you that we're working to create the conditions for it to collapse. But it may survive, it may not. If it survives, it'll be a lot weaker. There's no comparison. It'll be at its weakest point, shorn of industries that it built over decades, death industries, shorn of many other capabilities that they have, and equipped with the experience, with the knowledge that if they try it again, they'll be hit again even harder. I cannot tell you of the technological developments that we are engaged in to anticipate this and other possibilities. But Israel has shown that it can do wondrous things. And in partnership with our American allies, we can do amazing things, amazing things. As Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, said, these are the two most amazing air forces in the world. It's the two most amazing intelligence services in the world. It has the capabilities to
joined at the hip.
confront these barbarians and to outstrip them, both in innovation.
Yeah, Big Yahoo's Big Yahoo's now saying, "Oh, they didn't know, and we won't do it again." The Israelis reply, "Trump knew. We're joined to the hip in this." Contrary to Trump's statements, senior Israeli and U.S. officials have said that the United States had prior knowledge of the Israeli strike and even approved it in an attempt to pressure Iran. After the Iranians retaliated against Qatar's gas fields, Trump is now changing course. Hey guys, how do you like the fucking fuel prices, by the way? Do you guys enjoy it? Because the real president of the United States of America, Big Yahoo, wanted you to suffer. Okay, remember that.
A lot.
And our little president, Donald Trump, allowed it to happen because he's a fucking bitch. Okay?
Volumes, I read most of them. He also wrote The Lessons of History, very brief, 100-page book.
I like
In
walking.
which he said, well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough.
What the fuck is this guy talking
Overcome
about?
good.
Genghis Khan. Okay, dude, whatever. I'm bored of the president talking. I hate the president. I hate our real president. I hate our chud ass real president, dude. He fucking sucks. Clearly a better president than ours, though, because he does have free healthcare for his citizens. Not us, of course. Anyway, our response to Israel's attack on our infrastructure employed fraction of our power. The only reason for restraint was requested the escalation. Zero restraint of our infrastructures are struck again. Any end to this war must address the damage to our civilian sites. Oh, there's also a dollar counter here that we haven't talked about. Everything that they strike, Iran absolutely has the right and the responsibility to demand restitution for, compensation for, reparations. That's the other side of the story as well, which they probably will ask for, understandably. Everything that Israel is blowing up, we have to pay for. We're paying for it with our tax dollars already, with the weapons that are being used, because those are our weapons, right? Those are our munitions. And then on top of that, they're going to demand us pay compensation. They're going to demand that we pay reparations for the shit that we blew up. This is a fraction of what's going on right now, by the way. Watch. Let's take a look at what Scott Bessent had to say. Mr. Treasury. Let's see what he had to say about releasing some of the sanctions piece by piece on Iran.
Effort. We had a break the glass plan across the administration and at Treasury. We unsanctioned Russian oil. We knew that there were about 130 million barrels on the water, and we created supply that is beyond the Straits of Hormuz. So we anticipated this. We knew that there could be a temporary, and I want to emphasize temporary, choke point there. And there was 130 million barrels of floating storage. In the coming days, we may unsanction the Iranian oil that's on the water. It's about 140 million barrels. So depending on how you count it, that's 10 days to 2 weeks of supply that the Iranians had been pushing out. That would have all gone to China. In essence, we will be using the Iranian barrels against the Iranians to keep the price down for the next.
Oh, glorious. Fucking glorious. We're going to release the Iranian sanctions so that we actually hurt the Iranians is a fantastic, fantastic gambit. Masterful gambit, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, you know what also helps Iran? The fact that their oil tankers are the only ones that can cross through the Strait of Hormuz right now, as the price of the oil barrel is also skyrocketed. You know who this helps? Russia. You know who this helps? Iran. Ironically enough. Now that the Strait of Hormuz is closed effectively and the price of fucking crude has gone up, every single barrel that Iran is capable of selling to the rest of the world is even more expensive. And therefore, they're making even more money. 5D chess here, okay? It's awesome. For the record, we should have never been fucking sanctioning the shit out of Iran to begin with and like starving its economy. This fucking dipshit literally celebrated that, openly said that the reason why there is discontent in Iran right now, the reason why there are mass protests in Iran right now is because we effectively starved out their economy. We destroyed their regular, ordinary people's normal existence in the country. He said it. He said it. Remember. And now, forcibly, Iran is recovering those lost assets, the economic damage, piece by piece.
10 or 14 days as we continue this campaign.
Iran sets up approved shipping corridor through Hormuz. Iran is allowing select vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz along the routes inside its territorial waters after their prior approval, with at least one tanker reportedly paying $2 million for transit, according to Lloyd's list. At least 9 ships have already used the route near Larak Island, where the IRGC-linked authorities verify vessels. Governments including India, China, Pakistan, Iraq, and Malaysia are coordinating transit requests directly with Tehran. Lloyd's list reports Iran is moving to formalize the system. Ship owners must submit detailed ownership and cargo information in advance, often via intermediaries, to register for clearance, with vessels tied to the U.S. or Israel excluded. Traffic remains minimal, with just 15 transits recorded from March 15th to 17th, about 90% tied to Iran-linked trade or ownership. So now they're collecting a toll for pass-through, for safe clearance through the Strait of Hormuz. Not only have they effectively shut off the Strait of Hormuz, as we've talked about already, they are now rerouting vessels through one of their islands to collect a fucking toll. Incredible. Yeah. RIP Australia, I guess. My dumbass government is helping the USA so we won't get to make a deal for safe passage around, fucking idiots. You'll see. I think that things will change. This is also part of the reason why Iran is directly communicating, from what I understand, with the French and the German and the British governments. I mean, maybe not the British one, actually, but they're definitely talking to the French government and the German government. Iran, by force, is getting the European vassals to decouple from America. Iran is utilizing capitalism to its advantage. The weakness of capital is that endless profits may flow. And if your goal is to keep this entire system together, a fragile system, as Iran has shown, okay, and you have to abide by your capital masters, your capital owning masters, you have to sometimes cut a deal with Iran. You have to forcibly decouple from the United States of America. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Truly. It's a brilliant move. None of these guys were going to do it, even if America turned around and said, we're going to fucking take Greenland. It's clear. European capital owners straight up showed their asses in that last bout when they were like, wait, what do you mean, Mr. President? Why would you take over Greenland forcibly? Why would you forcibly annex Greenland? It's your territory already. Like, why would you do that? Why would you embarrass us openly? Right? And they were able to cause America to stand down, right? For a brief moment. But the damage was already done. But it wasn't enough. Mertz and all the fucking Eurocucks like Rutte still went back to the United States of America, still kept calling America daddy over and over again. And then America went in with Israel and did this thing and collapsed the energy markets. And now Iran has effectively shut off the Strait of Hormuz and is by force, one, showing what kind of damage it can do to American assets in the region, delivering blow after blow to the confidence that America had, or the confidence that allies had in American security assurances. And also, last but not least, collecting a fucking toll in the process and forcibly decoupling European vassal states from America, because European vassals also have their own capital masters. And when the order of global capital is disrupted this way, nation states remember that they have their own national interests. Yeah, the toll here, they openly stated it yesterday. They're planning to levy a 10% toll on all ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. This will generate $73 billion a year, completely offsetting U.S. sanctions and paying for war damages.
Talking about leveling a tax, a toll on ships. You know, in normal times, about $2 billion worth of goods pass through the Strait of Hormuz every day. So if you have a 10% toll, that would be $200 million. That would bring Iran about $73 billion a year. And that would be enough to offset the illegal sanctions that the country is going through. That would be enough.
This is racketeering, eh? Are they taking payments in dollars? I don't know if they're taking the payments in dollars. They floated the idea of trading on the Chinese yuan, but I don't even think China wants that to happen. So I don't know if they just like kind of dropped that. But are they only regardless. The point is, people can say this is illegal all day, every day, but you know what else is illegal? Doing a decapitation strike on a fucking sovereign nation state, blowing up its energy grid, engaging in chemical warfare. So, sorry, sucks to fucking suck. You dropped it. You cannot fucking say, you cannot turn around and say, oh, why won't they abide by international law? They are dictating the terms of international law. If might is right, and this is something that I kept repeating, right? If might is right is the way of the land, if we're operating on those rules, then sometimes there will be another country out there who's crazy enough to fucking fight back, and then they rewrite the rules at their behest, at their to their benefit. This is a moment. You can't fucking complain about it. Okay? I know that for many Americans, we're so used to dominating other countries, right? That there's almost this weird entitlement, this selfish attitude where we're like, what do you mean you're fighting back against us? That's illegal. How dare you? How dare you blow up our military bases? This is something that I kept hearing from the Gulf states and America over and over again. They were like, Iran is fighting back against all of its regional neighbors. Why are they doing that? It's like, well, why the fuck do you think? You can't put American military bases and then engage in American military action against the fucking sovereign state and not expect them to retaliate. What the fuck's wrong with you? Fuck legality and fuck the rules of shipping and free trade fabricated by the pirate, looter, plundering, colonial, inhuman, parasite bastards to uphold super profit extraction for the global majority. True. This is what anti-imperialism looks like, by the way. And sometimes it's not going to be conducted by guys that are ideologically committed. Sometimes it's a mechanism of survival. This is a matter of survival for Iran. It's a matter of maintaining their dignity, maintaining their sovereignty. They are well within their rights to do this. Okay? This is what happens. This is what fucking happens when you go toe-to-toe with a country that's, you know, backed into a corner where they have to fight their way out of it. Okay? You know what's crazy about it too? All the while all of this fucking chaos is unfolding, okay? Israel is still trying to rape southern Lebanon. America is still trying to actively starve Cuba. Like, that's how evil empire is, okay? There are real human casualties on the other side of this that we don't even consider. The Israeli forces are still dominating the lives of regular Palestinians in the West Bank. All of this must be put to an end, okay? Western imperialism must be held to account. Western imperialism must be brought to heel. It's that fucking simple. That's it. Iran is distracted from the Lebanon annexation. I think the Hezbollah, the Hezi boys are doing their best to defend their land. Again, well within their right to do so. They're a non-state actor. Obviously, they don't get a lot of positive coverage for that reason. It's easy to just say they're terrorists, they're terrifying, they're terrorists, they're bad. The reality of the matter is they are the de facto standing military of Lebanon, because the Lebanese military is not doing shit to defend their own fucking lands, as Israel is openly communicating that they will annex and even turn into Gaza, southern Lebanon in its entirety. Okay? So yeah, they have every right to defend themselves. They have every right to defend their lands. And they have every right to use ATGMs on those $30 million Merkava tanks piece by fucking piece. As the Israeli government keeps repeating, there has been a massive security incident in southern Lebanon over and over again, every single fucking night. They have the right. What the fuck are we doing? Don't fuck around. I'm going to be honest, it looks like Israel knows it lost the public opinion battle, and now they know this is their last chance to do whatever they want. This means they now do maximum evil and take as much land as they can while the Trump presidency lasts. Yeah, but that's also a fucking major misstep, is my point. Okay? That's a major mistake, as demonstrated by the retaliation. It's the same principle behind the final solution and trying to invade Moscow. Right? It's a fascist state where collapse is imminent, and they're trying to do this like one last big hurrah. They're spread too thin. America is also spread too thin. And that's why you're seeing $2 trillion in R&D light on fucking fire all of a sudden. That's why you're seeing this country that we have starved for decades, this country we have dominated economically for decades, turn around and say, all right, fuck you. You carved out this path for us, and it offered us a moment of resilience. Because here's the other thing. Iran is not an anti-capitalist country, right? There were anti-capitalist elements in its popular revolution that took place, but that was fucking 47 years ago. Iran is not an anti-capitalist country. Iran is not a communist country. Iran is not a socialist country. They have, modest social democracy of sorts, certainly, but they're not ideologically communist at all. However, they are much more resilient to the financial pressures because they have had to exist for 47 years outside of the confines of the international marketplace. That is the reason why they can just as easily strike at the core of capital without experiencing the blowback themselves, or at least the blowback that they experience is marginal in comparison to the maximum damage that they are causing to international markets, because we made them that way. The conditions that we subjected Iran to have given them, have forced them into finding alternative markets, have forced them to diversify their economy. We have created their preparation. We have created their conditions for preparation as they collapse the global energy markets. We did that. And we could only get away with it for decades because no one ever fought back. Okay? Because no one with the actual capabilities of striking a serious blow at the heart of capital ever fought back. We bit off more than we could chew. Do you understand? Disarmed all their neighbors systematically over the years, and now there's no one to oppose them now. Yeah. This was, I think, what Yahya Sinwar thought would happen maybe a month or 2 months or maybe a year after October 7. Okay? That is why the operation was called the Al-Aqsa Flood, right? He thought that he would force Iran's hand to recognize that America and Israel were going to come down and successfully defang the entirety of the resistance, that Iran had spent millions of dollars billions of dollars really building for decades. Iran didn't do it. Iran didn't do it until they were truly backed into a corner with no other way out but to fight in a way that is not dissimilar to the Palestinians in Gaza. That's precisely what the point was. That's precisely what I told you over and over again after October 7. I told you that if you back people into a fucking corner their whole lives, if you ritualistically humiliate them, if you dominate them, if you turn them into colonial subjects in this hermetically sealed open air prison, eventually they're going to fight their way out. You back them into a corner, you cause them to fight their way out of that corner. And that was precisely what happened on October 7. And that is, ironically, precisely what's happening right now with Operation Epstein's Fury. Years from now, once the dust is settled, we will look back at that as the end of American imperialism, in my opinion. That moment as the end of American imperialism. It will be the first domino. If you want to go back even further, it was actually the handover from foreign policy being handed over to Israel entirely on Trump 1. That was the start of the Palestinian Resistance Front recognizing that they were completely written out of the equation, that they were going to face death no matter what. The Abraham Accords, moving the embassy to Jerusalem, greatly accelerating the demise of Palestinians in the West Bank. That is what caused the Palestinian Resistance Front to design a way out of this situation, to make the Israeli occupation as costly as possible. Wall Street Journal opinion piece talking shit about Hasanabi again. Lol, you made them big mad. Democrats are too cozy with the Piker. There's no excuse for failing to call the anti-Semitism on the left. I know. We're going to read that later.
To pay for damages after a few years. I think damages are quite extensive. So it wouldn't be able to pay for all the damages in the first year, but eventually it will pay for the damages. So Iran is not going back to the old days of just suffering under sanctions while others benefit from the oil wealth in this part of the world. That's, I think, a decision that has been made. The country's leader mentioned this in the statement that he released the other day.
So Sinwar was the only one of the resistance axis who understood Israel in the West? Yes. Yahya Sinwar, first of all, this is something that the Israelis also readily admit. Yahya Sinwar was in Israeli prison for most of his life, and he learned Hebrew, and he actually translated a lot of Hebrew works into Arabic as well. He developed relationships with a famous Israeli dentist while he was in prison. Anyone who is like remotely competent, whether they're Israeli or not, doesn't matter, will openly say that Yahya Sinwar truly understood Israeli society. Okay? He did. And absolutely, like Hassan Nasrallah is, people say I'm anti-Semitic for this. I say Hassan Nasrallah was a brilliant tactician as well. But Hassan Nasrallah was far more restrained, and I think at the end did not fully comprehend the true evil. Maybe they were a little bit too materialist, as a matter of fact. Hassan Nasrallah, I think, believed that Israel wouldn't go as far as it did because they would not blow up international markets, right? In the way that we're seeing unfold right now. Same with Ali Khamenei. I'm not a believer in the great man theory, but there are even till his last breath, Hassan Nasrallah probably thought, oh, Israel's not crazy enough to do this. And then he was assassinated. He was martyred, right? As much as I also believe in dialectical and historical materialism, fascism operates on different boundaries, and one must recognize that. Yeah, the legend says that martyr Imad Mughnieh was once asked if Israel were to assassinate Syed Hassan Nasrallah, what would happen? He replied while laughing, they would have assassinated the most rational person among us. The same thing happened with Largiani. Israel assassinated Largiani. Everyone started writing all these reports about how he was one of the more rational, one of the more pragmatic actors. That, like, how could Israel assassinate one of the only people that had the capacity to communicate with the West and had the interest in negotiating with the West, basically destroying another off-ramp for America. Because, evet. So that was the analysis. The guy who replaced him, I looked into his background, is even more of a hardliner. He's pro-nukes. The guy who replaced Largiani is pro-nukes and pro-mandatory hijab. So the IRGC, every time a leader is assassinated, the guy that takes his place is even more of a hardliner. So it's very clear how the IRGC is operating here. Their contingency is going in the opposite direction, not like showing over and over again. Okay? Showing over and over again. You kill us, it doesn't matter. The guy that replaces the person that you kill is going to be even more aggressive in their stance against Western imperialism. That's it. That's why they assassinate them. They want figureheads who can be portrayed as backwards barbarians. Yeah, brother, but it's pretty obvious that Iran has a talent pool that is very fucking deep as far as like people who are not backwards barbarians at all. These are very well-read people. Also, it doesn't even fucking matter because no matter how sophisticated your weaponry is, no matter how expensive your munitions are, it's very clear that Iran is capable of engaging in asymmetrical warfare and making America and the rest of the global markets hurt. Yeah. Iran will drown the West with an infinite human wave of Kantian scholars and tenured Quranic economists. When you look at Chinese PhDs, a lot of them are like STEM lords, whatever, right? But then they also have like a doctorate in Marxist-Leninism. And in Iran, it's really funny. If you look at their background, it's always like, Kantian scholars that have a doctoral thesis on like Quranic scripture in the Western world. Analysts suggest Iran may have a strategic reserve as many as 500 million bureaucrats and public officials with widely cited PhD theses. Iran has the capability to produce more analytical papers on German idealism than our academic system is capable of rejecting and risks exhausting the editors of every major academic journal within 2 to 3 weeks. Every single guy that is in the Iranian government right now is in their like 60s, or if they get killed, then they're going to be in their 50s. Every single one of them has fought in the Iran-Iraq war at the age of like 15. Okay. If you want to understand their background, it's always dudes who fought in the Iran-Iraq war at the age of like 15 and then got like 8 PhDs. Every single one of these motherfuckers. They have combat experience and they are also highly educated. So you know, the assassinations don't matter too much. What is this? Didn't they shoot like 7,000 to 35,000? No, they didn't shoot 35,000. Civilian protesters, how are they liberal at all? They're not. Liberalism is done. We're not talking about the boundaries of liberalism anyway. Look at what liberalism has brought. Genocide, maximum genocide in fucking Gaza. A live-streamed Holocaust. That's what liberalism brought you. Liberalism is over. Okay? It's done. Wake up. Stop associating liberalism with a force of good, okay? It's crazy. States are invested in sovereignty and self-preservation. The American liberal state is invested in maximum domination of the global south at the behest of capital. It only took 100 years, but liberalism is dead once again. Okay? 100 years ago, when liberalism was being developed, it fell apart. What came was a wave of social democracies, fascism, and communism. And then America went to war with communism. Cold War happened. Cold War ended. Accelerated liberal capitalism for like since the 90s, for the last 3 decades, 4 decades. And now liberalism is failing once again. It's over. It's dying again. Even Fukuyama, Mr. End of History, has openly admitted 2 key principles were wrong. Okay? The end of history was wrong. That history has not ended. That liberalism is not going to thrive. And 2, that nation states that demand sovereignty must develop nukes. Those are 2 key things that I have been a believer of for at least the past decade. You got the number one dick rider of liberalism openly recognizing that both of those principal theories were completely fucking wrong. That they were abject failures. So if the top scholars are recognizing that, you know, it's over, their most significant contributions to academia were wrong, you can keep holding on to the crumbs here and try to defend it, but it's done. It's over. Thought you changed your mind on nukes? I did, which is why I'm saying for the last decade, my mind has changed on nukes. According to statements by Israeli and American military officials, 320% of Iran's missile launches have been destroyed so far. They're also shitposting on American websites, which is even funnier. However, Iran continues to launch missiles at a high rate. Now the enemy aims to destroy up to 500% of them, a unique achievement for the U.S. military. Speaker of Iran's parliament mocks U.S. claims about the destruction of the missile launch capability. So what do you do? What do you do? If the world is changed, you have to change with it. If you don't, you die. It's that simple. America thinks it can still operate on yesterday's boundaries. America thinks, and this same thing goes for Zionists as well. Zionists in America still operate with like 2003 narratives, right? They still think they can just say like, oh, don't you dare defy Israel's demands. What are you, anti-Semitic? And everyone looks at them and goes, I wasn't before you said this, but now I might be, right? And it's precisely the same dynamic at play here. America thinks might is right. Politics favors them. Yeah, this was Yahya Sinwar in a 2018 interview. Criticizing the international community, Sinwar said Gaza only ever received attention when there's violence and blood, but the problem is not the resistance, but rather the occupation. Did you see the video where the soldier shoots at us and keeps laughing, he asked? Once they, the Jewish people, used to be like Freud, Einstein, Kafka. They were famous for their mathematics and philosophy. Today, only for the drones. What a shame. Did you see Zoran's wife's base post? I did. And I already defended. Pod Bros radicalization has been interesting to watch. Yeah. In this op-ed, Third Way actually argues that Epstein class is an age-old trope pushed by Jew haters on the left. Yeah, they're mad. This is Third Way Jim Kessler. We're all for a big tent, but the Democratic Party needs to draw a line in the sand. Hassan Piker and his fellow Jew haters belong on the other side. Brother, you got no motion. Who the fuck cares about Third Way, dude? Third Way has no real base. Never really had a base in the party anyway. But they just keep. They said Hasanabi said tax the Jews. Wait, ain't no fucking way they said that. Israel's Ministry of Diaspora Affairs recommended barring Mamdani's wife, Rama Douaji, from entering Israel, citing her social media activity. Douaji has not expressed any plans to visit Israel. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, no. Oh, no. She can't visit the apartheid state that's doing a genocide, that's getting peppered with fucking... peppered with cluster munitions right now. Oh no. She only lives in one of the best cities on the fucking planet. Oh no. I'm sure that will be devastating. Leave it the Third Way to call on Democrats to drop something very popular with voters, calling out Epstein's enablers, and to instead do something very unpopular, defending unconditional taxpayer dollars for Israeli war crimes. And they say progressives give Dems bad advice. Did you see China also hitting that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take? Update. China says peaceful reunification will solve Taiwan's energy crisis amid Iran war. I told you. I told you this too. What did I say? Day one, frame one. What did I fucking say? What did I fucking say? I said... this will also cause Taiwan to reconsider its allegiance with China. Taiwan doesn't have gas. Taiwan needs gas. Taiwan doesn't have natural gas. Taiwan needs natural gas for its chip manufacturing. What did I tell you? Taiwan doesn't have oil. China has oil. What did I tell you? Piker Broadcasting Service for tomorrow's news today. Okay? Piker Broadcasting Service. This is why y'all fucking pay me the big bucks. Okay? This is it. And also, it's so funny. U.S. intelligence believes China prefers taking control of Taiwan without force. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's again, another thing that I've been saying for years and years. Oh my God. Shocking. What? You mean to tell me the official state position on Taiwan, peaceful reunification, is, it turns out, the actual Chinese play? What? What? Because of you, I changed a guy's mind about this yesterday at the DSA? What? No way. So you mean to tell me when the Chinese government openly says that for years and years, as its long-standing policy, that turns out that was the case? Turns out that was the truth? Chad Weihua in the replies. Why are you saying China taking over Taiwan is peaceful? Oh my God. Amerifats. Amerifats. Wake up. Wake up, Amerifats. I beg you, wake up to the realities. Wake up to the fucking realities, Amerifats. Wake up now. Not tomorrow. Wake up now, okay? Wake up. The burger heads are confused. They're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's just like we cause all this chaos around the world, and then like our foreign military base is slammed to the ass cheeks of China is going to have different considerations about reunifying with China, a much more stable partner, as we are like America's unnecessarily waging war. All the while, you still have liberals with their hardliner positions on advancing American imperialism when America's allies all around the world are seeing the reality for what it is. You can fucking complain all day, every day. You can complain, you can cry, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay? But the toothpaste is out of the motherfucking tube, baby. Is out of the tube. Is this a GIF link? Okay. All right, we'll read this. We'll read this in a second. However, today, Taiwan rejects China's energy security offer. Yeah, they're stupid. Don't worry about it. What matters is what the Taiwanese people think, okay? What matters is what the people of Taiwan think. And every single day. Did you see XQC fangirl over your Vanity Fair photo? I did not. That's surprising. What is this? It was an American Excalibur GPS guided munition. Oh, you're talking about the one that struck the British journalist that works for Russia Today. Yeah, we'll cover that in a second. Another war crime, by the way. Anyway, let's finish this.
And that might
and
feel
I'm
like
pee
a
and I'll
bit
be
of a
back.
pivot because
and then we'll cover the attacks I'm receiving from Third Way.
Up to this point was about the Strait of Hormuz. Have we forgotten about the Strait? Well, no, two reasons for that. The first is that some of the explanation offered for Israel's targeting of the gas field is that it was meant to signal that Israel could expand its attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure if Iran continues disrupting maritime trade and energy flows through the Strait of Hormuz. And the second is the US has been striking Iranian assets there too, the similar sort of goal. And that doesn't appear to have made much of a difference. There are still strikes happening over recent days there and there. So what you still have is that ships are still stuck. There's the strikes that are still happening. The oil price is still rising. And the escalation by Israel probably makes that situation even thornier, because Iran is also maintaining a steady, if diminished, tempo of attacks. Now, this shows missiles and drones, missiles in yellow, drones in blue, attacks by Iran on the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain. Total of 3,000 or so much less than the US and Israel together, around 16,000 they've claimed. You can see this big opening salvo. It has declined, it has diminished, but there is a steady rate, and it might even be creeping up. And this is asymmetric warfare. It only takes a few missiles, a few drones to block a strait or to turn off energy infrastructure. And the US today acknowledged Iran retains capability with its missiles. So 3 weeks nearly into this war, its ultimate outcome seems less clear.
Nah, no way. Really? No way. What? You don't say. Who could have foreseen this, boys? I certainly could not have.